Bienvenidos to Humans in Accounting, the podcast where we pause the AI buzz for a minute and focus on the real humans behind the numbers. We chat with founders and leaders to hear their journey, what drives them, and the important things in life. Because behind every balance sheet, there's a story worth telling. Humans in Accounting is brought to you by South Offices. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Humans in Accounting, where leaders share their stories behind their spreadsheets. I am Alex Roman, and this podcast is brought to you by South Offices, connecting accounting talent across borders. Today's guest, I'm really happy to have Jacob LaCour, owner at Expert Bookkeeping. Jacob, it's great to have you here in Humans in Accounting. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Alex. It's been a pleasure. I think we've known each other now for, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so. And it's been a great relationship already. Looking forward to it for many, many years to come.
Absolutely, yeah. It's actually less than 6 months. That's interesting how we met. Probably similar as Jeremy. We met in a pool. I think that's how everyone should meet. In a pool, relax with a drink. That makes a great way just to have a first impression. I'll tell everyone the rest, listeners in the future. We met personally in Scaling New Heights a few months ago, and actually we started also working together. So this is great, and now you're here in humans in accounting. Incredible.
Absolutely, yes. I think the connection there, like you said, I think everybody should meet in a swimming pool with 105-degree weather.
Yeah,
but it was just really neat to meet and immediately, like you said, me, you, Jeremy, quite a few of us that all had one thing in common is just people, liking people and trying to help people and trying to make this world a little bit better. So it's been great. I guess you're right. That was in June, so it hasn't quite been 6 months. So yeah.
Yeah, and incredible. And well, now here we are in Humans in Accounting. I don't know how familiar you are in Humans in Accounting, but the objective of this podcast is just to talk a little bit more with people. And yeah, maybe we can start. I wanna ask you if you can tell us all a little bit about your background, how you started, how you ended up being the owner of Expert Bookkeeping. That'll.
Man, I don't know if we have enough time to say that. I've been all over the place there, Alex. But I guess it really starts back even as a teenager, raised in Southwest Louisiana, a little small town with less than 3,000 people in it. We had one traffic light at the time, and there was a loud horn that would go off when there was a fire emergency or something, a lot like a tornado or an earthquake or a tsunami warning system. And that's how volunteers in the community would know that there is a fire. They would drop what they're doing, run to the local fire station, throw on their fire gear, and they would go to wherever this emergency was. If I was in town, I'd jump on my bike and I would try to ride as fast as I could to follow to see where this fire was going, where these trucks were going. As I got older, I just chase it around. So at the age of 17, I popped into that little station one time and said, "Hey, what do you have to do to be able to respond?" And they said, "Well, first you have to be 18. So that was a very long year that I had to wait.
Right.
But it just kind of sums up, or the beginning, I guess I should say, of my career, just volunteering to help someone in need. So as of today, I am still on that volunteer fire department. I am the fire chief also. Now I've then moved up to there. Technology has come a little bit better. We don't have the loud horn. We have cell phones that go off, and we have radios and those type of things. So we have improved from when I first started. But I love helping people. That's what I've always kind of done. I've liked accounting. I've always had an accounting background, but I was blue collar worker growing up. Worked on the farm, worked construction, mechanic, just did all the hard blue collar work. And I actually owned my first gas station, a service station, a full service gas station at the big age of 20. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just wanted to sell gas to people. And when they pulled in, to see how quickly I could service their vehicle, check the air in their tires, wash their windshields for them, and I would vacuum underneath the driver's seat, never let the driver get out the vehicle. I just did everything for them and didn't charge nothing extra. If they bought $10 of gas, it was $10. So I say those type of things to just say that's kind of what I'm doing now. A good friend of mine was in business and was a very good business. He was actually in the air conditioner and heating business. Very, very good air conditioner guy. He could probably cool hell off by 10 degrees. He was so good. He explained to me one day that he was just overwhelmed. Thought he was going to have to close his business down because he didn't understand taxes. He didn't understand payroll laws. He just did not understand how to run business. And Alex, it just kind of hit me really hard. It says, it's crazy how people have a passion or a love to do something. And to do that trade or to do whatever they need to do is just the beginning of actually running a business and making it profitable and being able to do things. And so many people get discouraged or hang up or lose because of that. So I was like, you know what? I want to open up a business to not only provide the bookkeeping and the tax services, but to be their person that they can throw all the stuff on that they don't know.
Right.
So the name of my business is Expert Bookkeeping. One day I'm probably going to rebrand because I just really want to help the people out. You go do what you know how to do. If you're a cook, go cook. If you cut hair, if you're an electrician, go do what you know how to do, and everything else, throw it on me. And if I don't know how to do it, I have plenty of connections. With the amount of clients that I have, it's possible what you need may be a client of mine, but if not, I have the old Rolodex that's thicker than most. Just the connections over the years of doing it. So that's what we really do. I could talk all day about me, man, but
No. You said so many things. I didn't want just to interrupt you, but I think it's great how you started. I have so many questions. First, how many traffic lights do you have now?
How many clients do I have now? I have
No. Traffic. I'm sorry. How many traffic lights you have now? Yeah.
So now we've upgraded. We have 3.
3? Okay. That's 2 more than.
Yeah, we have. But we got 3 lights, but we also gained 4 lanes of traffic. So our roads widened more than we are lights.
Okay, perfect. And then another question that I had: what happened with the gas station? You had it for a long time. You sold it.
So the short story was that the gas station was very, very successful, and the guy that actually owned the building and the land that I was renting from was really old school, and we're talking about in the late 90s here, so this is when a lot of people still did a lot of things by handshake and stuff. Long story short, we had a basically a handshake for the rental of the building, and I kind of asked him for some more legal agreements and contracts at the time, which may have not held up anyway. But long story short, he ended up passing away. And when he did, the family had other plans for the business. As the town was growing a little bit, that they figured that it would be better off to do something else with that building. So they gave me the right amount of time to get out, since I didn't own the building, and I thought about maybe building another station somewhere. But at that time, I was 22, 23 years old and newly married, new child, new dreams. Didn't have a roadmap, didn't have Google Maps just yet. So I was just kind of wandering in the wilderness, and it's where it led me today. This is where I'm at.
Okay, perfect. Great. And then another one, this is just out of curiosity. I wanna know, at least here in Argentina, how does it work just to be a volunteer of the fire department? Again, this is just a curiosity that I wanna know. Like, is it like they have a paid a salary, or that's something
So,
that I always like to know.
right. So believe it or not, and even people right here don't understand this, but in the United States as a whole, we are 71% volunteer firefighters. 71% of all fire departments across the United States is 100% volunteer.
Okay.
So even though
Meaning,
here we
meaning,
are,
meaning they don't earn any, they don't have any salary, correct?
they have no salary whatsoever.
Well,
There's a couple departments that have enough revenue through taxes and other things that they may pay the person per call. So when they
right.
respond, they may get something very minimal. I'm talking about $10, $12. So they may go
Right.
out and fight a fire for 6, 10, 12 hours and get $10. When
Oh, incredible.
others don't get anything. Here in Louisiana, you at least get a $500 tax credit for
Okay.
being a
Okay.
volunteer firefighter, so you do get a little tax incentive. But as far as becoming one, it's not hasn't changed much since it did in the 90s. You show up to the fire station, you tell them that you want to be it. We do a little background check, and from
Yeah.
there you start doing some training with us. We meet every week, and we do training. You come when you possibly can. We give you your radio. We put the access to the application on your phone to where it goes off night or day. There's no schedule. It just when it goes off, if you're available to jump out of bed or leave the birthday party or leave your job or whatever you're doing, you go. So, it works. A lot of times you have to call a neighboring town to come and help because there's not enough, you know?
I know. And Jacob, I'm just thinking out loud. Is there any other, I don't know, any other profession or any other job that they have? Maybe there are plenty, but the most typical one is definitely firefighters, right? And that's where you can see that people are truly there because that's what you said at the beginning. They just want to help. So I don't know. Is there any other profession where you can volunteer
I
like this
mean,
one, where you have 71%? Uh,
the only thing that I could possibly even come close to it would be your local recreational places, you know, that you may have volunteer coaches for the basketball or the baseball, soccer. Those coaches, obviously, they're not putting in near the energy and the risk. And surely you don't get called at 2 o'clock in the morning from a dead sleep and say, hey, let's go play a
right,
basketball game.
right.
So, and that's what a lot of my volunteers do. You know, I mean, they're laying in bed and sleeping, and 2 a.m. someone gets in a car accident or there's a fire. They jump up out of bed. They may go fight a fire for 4 hours and then have to go to their real job at 6 a.m. You know, thankfully that doesn't
Well,
happen often, but that is one of the risks of taking on this challenge. I want to call it. You know, as being a volunteer. You know.
yeah. Now I want to know a little bit more. Then I'm gonna be chatting with ChatGPT just to know what happens worldwide. I'm pretty sure that in Argentina it's pretty similar. Why? I mean, what happens if this 71% of firefighters around the U.S. they say, "Hey, now I'd rather gonna do something else," and then what's gonna happen with everyone? But well, anyways,
Okay, let's not spend too much time on this. I know, I mean, but that does bring up a good point. The 71% number, I've been doing this for 27 years. The 71% number probably hasn't changed much in 27 years. Okay.
well,
So that means that the volunteer structure has not changed. However, I will tell you, 27 years ago, my department had an average of 55 to 60 volunteers. So out of
mhm,
3,200 people, we had 50 to 60 volunteers.
okay.
Now, today, I am lucky to have 20 volunteers. So the amount of volunteers have definitely went down. People are just so busy and they can't volunteer. But the number of volunteer departments across the nation, and it's a nationwide crisis. People are just, for all kind of reasons, they don't volunteer like they used to. They're too busy, life, kids. Their real-time job is more demanding than what it used to be.
Obviously, yeah, yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
the early 90s, in the 90s, nobody worked more than 40 hours a week, you know. Now with a lot of jobs, it's common to have a 60, 65 hour a week job, you know. I just wanted to bring
Okay.
that up. The 71% hasn't changed much at all, but the number of volunteers doing the same amount of work has. And we haven't found an AI firefighter yet. AI makes everything so much easier, and we can take the human out of so many things out there. But I haven't found an AI firefighter yet. Let me know when you find one.
It's definitely gonna take a few more years at least. Well, there you talk. Well, let's go back. Thank you for telling us all and just yeah to know a little bit more about this. Let's go back just to expert bookkeeping. I wanna know since you started. Is there? I like asking this question. Is there a milestone? Is there an achievement? Is there something specifically that happened at a specific period of time that you said, "Whoa, incredible that I got here when I started with my vision of helping entrepreneurs." What's the first thing that comes to mind, Jacob?
Well, you know, and I do want to talk about, you know, because the meaning of your podcast here, you know, is humans and bookkeeping. So I feel like we've probably talked about the fire department too much, but it's where
No,
my passion's at, just like the bookkeeping. But it's my business has exploded, and a lot of it happened after COVID or during the COVID pandemic. That's when my business really took just a complete spike. It introduced people to webcams, video calls, how to upload, all the virtual stuff that we do nowadays. It introduced people to it that had never did it or never dreamed of doing it, you know. Work from home. It opened that door for so many people. At the same time, the government was offering millions and millions of dollars of supplements and loans and SBA loans. So that definitely spiked. I started filling out documents and papers for unemployment, for SBA loans, helping people just do all kind of things. Taxes got delayed, penalties got waived. So there was just tons of affidavits and forms and just all kind of stuff that you had to do. Had to kind of reinvent the wheel. Some people had been running business a certain way for so many years, and this virtual had really opened the door to stuff to where now they didn't have employees, they couldn't have staff. And expert bookkeeping just really went straight to the ground, and we hit the ground running really hard. I can remember July of it just exploded when the whole nation was shutting down. And
right.
you drive through my little town, and I didn't even need the three red lights anymore, you know, because I mean, there was literally nothing going through town. And I was like, man, I said, this can't be the end. This is not the apocalypse. You know, I mean,
Right.
what's going on, you know? So let's plan. And it kind of gave everybody kind of a somewhat fresh start, you know? And that's just when I really totally changed out the expert bookkeeping and said, you know, just come to me, kind of like when you call 911 for an emergency. You know, we don't say, oh, I'm sorry, we don't do that. We just respond. We just, the phone rings and we run to it. We run into things that a lot of people run away from. So I was like, you know what? That's what I've been doing for the last 27 years is running into buildings, and when everybody else was running out, how about I do the same thing? When people are running away from this business challenge, how about expert bookkeeping run to it and say, we've got it. Put our arms around them and just say, we embrace them and let them know that, hey, we'll take care of this. You go do what you do. You keep the revenue coming in, and we'll take care of the back end side. We'll make sure payroll's ran. We'll make sure your insurance is paid. We'll make sure that loan's filled out. We'll do all the things that you need to be done. You go do what you do. You're a carpenter. You're a plumber. You go do you. And that's how I do business.
I can see. I'm listening to you, and I can see the parallelism or the synergy with well, being. I'm going back now to firefighter, but the idea basically around helping people. So I see that passion, and it reflects when you're talking. So I think that's important what you're saying, Jacob, and I think that's great. That's great that this is what you do and what you decided just to get on board with. Wanted just to ask you. Let me again change subjects, and this is a question that I need just to ask it. Ranking for me, I'm passionate about many things. For me, humor is an important part of life. Connecting with people, with the human part, it's also important for me. And also, I'm a foodie guy. I enjoy eating good food. I'm gonna ask you this direct question, Jacob. What's your favorite food?
Man, my favorite food.
Yes.
Down here in South Louisiana, we're known all across the nation and probably the world even, that we have some of the best eating. A lot like the firefighting and the bookkeeping, we really don't say no to anything. If it's a cricket on the ground, we figure out how to grill it and how to eat it, you know? So I guess I'm living in the right place, you know, because I don't know how to say no to anything. But I really love, we call it a sauce piquant. Is what we call
What?
it.
Sorry. You need to repeat that. I'm Argentinian.
Repeat it. Don't make
What's
me
the name of
that.
that?
We'll have to Google it. It's a sauce piquant. And
What is that?
it's basically just a lot of different meats. Usually a wild game. Usually it's got some squirrel. It's got deer. We put pork sausage in it. We put tasso. I like mine with a brown gravy. A lot of people put a red gravy, but it's real thick. It's really spicy, and you should be sweating when you eat it. And we put it over rice. And I love a good sauce piquant. And then kind of a seasonal food here is the crawfish. A lot of people call them crawdads. I know y'all probably have heard of that. You know, it's the little
Yes.
bitty mud bug, the little bug that plays around in the mud. Catch them out of our fields. We boil them in water. They're really, really seasoned. And we pinch the tails and pull the meat out, and we suck the heads.
Whoa. Okay. And that's something you said. This is seasonal. When do you usually have this?
So crawfish starts coming in slowly around the late December, early January.
Okay.
Primary crawfish season, the best times is March to about June.
All right.
So it's spring, it's middle winter to spring, and then once the really hot temperatures get here, the May, June, July, it's kind of fading out. It's hard to catch them. The water's getting really, really hot, so the crawfish are going deep into the mud at this time.
Thank you for answering me that question. This is definitely the first vote, but at least you're gonna have. My plan is just to do a ranking of the best food of humans in accounting. Definitely, this one is gonna be somewhere in the list, but well, at least it's gonna have one vote. Let's go back just to expert to ask you: do you work with a specific niche? How? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I'm glad Ben Robinson probably won't be watching this. Those that went through the Ben Robinson courses and stuff like that, because he preach, niche. And I really wanted to. I did. I like the service industry. So it was going to be kind of broad, but I like the construction because I've done a lot in the construction industry too. My father was a carpenter. My father-in-law was an iron worker. So I knew a lot. I spent a lot of time on the construction field, so I understood it. So people that do construction and electrician work and plumbing work, all the things to build these wonderful structures I was involved in and know of. So obviously it makes bookkeeping and coaching and helping them out a little bit better. But I say that to say that I failed. I don't tell nobody no. And maybe you need to edit that out of this podcast before it goes on the World Wide Web, because I'll probably gonna have people calling me from all over the world now saying, "I heard you're the guy that don't say no." But I can't see telling somebody no when they're reaching out for help. I'm getting a little bit better at sending them on to someone that I think could give them more help than me.
Right.
It's hard for me to find that person that I trust to say, hey, go see Alex, he'll take care of you. I need to really know Alex and know that he's going to take care of these people, because my fall, man, I guess if I should stay there, I mean, I'm sure if you open this up for comments and let people start commenting on it, they may have a whole bunch of them that may be eye-opener for me. But I'm just a very, very passionate person. When I believe in something, when I start talking to people, I love people, and I'm just very passionate about my work and all things that I do. It's hard for me to tell somebody no. But if I had a favorite, I would say it's in the service industry.
Okay, perfect. That makes yeah, perfect sense. And most of your clients are in the service industry, you would say?
About 62%. So I barely make it over that halfway mark, but about 62% are in the service industry. And then the next probably highest category would be probably insurance. Selling insurance and stuff of that nature. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Jacob, I wanted just to ask you, I started this podcast because I thought it was a good idea just to know a little bit more the humans now that we are talking about AI, but still it's hard just to don't look at AI. And I wanted just to ask you, because I know how you feel at, but tell me a little bit about where do you see the future of AI going in the in bookkeeping. I want to know, what are your thoughts?
So, automation came out many years ago, decades ago, automation on assembly lines and stuff of that nature. Artificial intelligence, the AI portion of this stuff, has not been out quite as long, or not to just the normal person. I would say 2025 is when it's really kind of gotten really easy for us to have access to this AI, and it builds itself off of us humans, giving it the information and correcting it. Right. So it's the fact of me being able to sit out there, instead of asking Google, I'm asking all the people in this profession, what do you think about it? And one bad egg can spoil it, So you have to be careful with it, because one person going in there throwing some bad information can throw the AI off. I like to say is a lot like when the nail gun came out in the construction industry. So when the automatic airmatic nail gun first came out, I'm sure a lot of the old timers and a lot of the carpenters said, this is crazy. You're supposed to have a hammer and you're supposed to have a nail. And then after a period of time of them not wanting to buy this nail gun, they're finding out that the other carpenters are using these nail guns, and they are building houses between 20 to 23% faster than the guy with the hammer and the nail. And they're doing the exact same thing. They're driving a galvanized nail through some boards. So I put that into my industry and say, okay, there's certain things that we have to do in bookkeeping to give the finished product. So if that is some type of automation or some type of AI that can go gather reports, can gather bank statements, can gather those things, because I cannot create any more time in the day. 24 hours is all that the good Lord is going to give me. So if I can grab something that I can really trust and depend on to do a reconciliation for me, to do this report, that allows me more time to look at that same report that myself or my staff used to do, and be able to scrutinize it and make changes and really give myself to what I love doing. It gives me the opportunity to bring in the human back to my client and say, hey, this is what we have. Let's have this meaningful conversation, whether it's in person at a coffee shop, whether it's through this video Zoom. However we do it, what can we do to let you know that, hey, yes, I'm not going to tell you that we don't use any AI. We have to, or you're going to get left behind, because the competition is going to be doing work so much faster, can handle more stuff. But that releasing some of the duties from us is allowing us to be more personal, actually. So I do support AI as it continues to grow. Where it's going to be at, I don't even know. I don't even want to speculate, because if we had this podcast in January of 25 and then again October the 3rd of 25, I guarantee it'd be a different conversation. And then we meet again in March of 26, I probably would have something else to say to you. So, yeah, but no, it's a tool, so let's use it. But just like any tool, we could start a whole nother conversation on that. Any tool can have a good and a bad, and if you use it for bad, it's not good.
Absolutely. That's a. I'm gonna cut a clip of that last sentence. It makes it makes sense. Jacob, last one to wrap up the episode. I wanna ask you. Let's give. I'm pretty sure that someone in the future is watching this episode who is, I don't know, maybe considering opening maybe their bookkeeping firm or their accounting firm, or it may be something else, another business, maybe a gas station. What's a good advice that you can give them, or what's a good advice that this Jacob could have given Jacob of 22 or 21 when he was starting or bought this gas station?
So I'm going to say it like this, Alex, and this goes for everybody from young to old. It's not what. Too many people say, what do I want to do? What do I want to build? Change that what to a simpler word, a 3-letter word, to why.
Yeah.
Why do I want to do this? Why is there a need for this? If you can figure out the why, the what, the how, the income, the support is going to come. Anybody out there that's thinking about doing anything, whether it's bookkeeping or any business, the opportunities are out there, and your destination is in your own hands. You put forth the work, you treat everybody with respect, honesty, and don't forget your purpose. Your purpose, your why, turns into profits, and it turns into a great service that no one else can mimic. Someone says, are you jealous if someone opens up a bookkeeping firm? No. I have 6 employees right now, and if all 6 of them would leave me and open up another business and be direct competition with me, that is the biggest success that I could possibly say. That I have created 6 more entrepreneurs, 6 more business people, because the demand is out there. There's not enough of us. So find that passion, find that why, and everything else will work out for you.
Wow, incredible. I love that. And I agree so much. It's so important before doing anything, just having that purpose really clear and knowing why you are doing, why are you waking every single day, and why are you doing this and not doing something else. It's so important just to say that and bold. So thank you for that advice, Jacob. It was so nice having you in Humans in Accounting. Let's say an insurance company, someone in an insurance company is watching this in the future. They want just to reach out because they know that maybe you can help them, or maybe actually anyone from any industry, because now they know that you cannot say no. What's the best way anyone can reach out to you?
Yeah, man. So we have a website. It is the www.expertbookkeeping.net. Go look at our website. We're on Facebook, Expert Bookkeeping. And then always you can just send us a good old email at info at expertbookkeeping.net. We'd love to hear from anybody that needs some help. We would give them some guidance. And maybe you want to start a business. I mean, we've helped people start businesses. We've helped people close businesses. Sometimes it's time to change the chapter, close the chapter. Y'all have listened to me talk for the last 30, 40 minutes now, and I've opened and closed quite a few chapters. And I only gave you a snippet of my life.
Jacob, it was so nice having you. Thank you so much for being part of
Yes.
Humans in Accounting. I guess I'll see you in a next event in person in a swimming pool. All right.
Absolutely. Good team, man. Thanks for the invite. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.